The Singer Building, also known as the Singer Tower, was an iconic early skyscraper in Manhattan, New York City. Completed in 1908 as the headquarters of the Singer Manufacturing Company, it stood 612 feet tall and was briefly the tallest building in the world. Designed by architect Ernest Flagg in the Beaux-Arts style, it became a symbol of early 20th century innovation. Despite its architectural importance, it was demolished in 1968, making it one of the tallest buildings ever intentionally raised. The Ponce de Leon Hotel, also known as the Ponce, was an exclusive luxury resort in St. Augustine, Florida. Built by railroad magnate Henry Flagler and completed in 1888, it was designed by architects Carrere and Hastings in the Spanish Renaissance Revival style. The hotel featured lavish interiors, including Tiffany stained glass windows and Thomas Edison's electric lighting. Once a symbol of the Gilded Age, it now serves as part of Flagler College, preserving its architectural grandeur and history. The Moresque Building in New Orleans, Louisiana, began construction in 1859 but was not completed until after the Civil War. Designed in an elaborate Moorish revival style, it stood out for its ornate arches, intricate detailing, and exotic architectural influences uncommon in the American South. The building became one of New Orleans' most distinctive landmarks of the 19th century. Sadly, the Moresque Building was destroyed by a devastating fire in 1897, ending its brief but memorable presence in the city's skyline. Completed in 1909, the Manhattan Square Apartments in New York City showcased early 20th century urban elegance. With ornate facades, spacious layouts, and refined details, they offered a new standard of luxury city living. These apartments reflected the city's growth and the era's ambition to combine style, comfort, and modernity in residential design. Circa 1904, Festival Hall at the St. Louis World's Fair rose as a shining centerpiece of the exposition. Its grand dome and classical columns embodied the era's fascination with progress and beauty, creating a space where art, innovation, and celebration converged in a fleeting city of wonder. The Theatro Municipal in Rio de Janeiro stands as a jewel of Brazilian architecture and culture. Opened in 1909, its grand facade, ornate interiors, and sweeping staircases reflect European influence blended with local artistry. As a home for opera and performance, it symbolizes the city's dedication to the arts and remains a centerpiece of Rio's cultural life. Nashville's Parthenon in Centennial Park is a full-scale replica of the ancient Greek temple in Athens. Completed in 1897 for the Tennessee Centennial Exposition, its towering columns and detailed sculptures capture classical grandeur. Beyond architecture, it serves as a symbol of art, culture, and the city's devotion to preserving history on American soil. Circa 1900, Amsterdam thrived along its iconic canals, with narrow gabled houses, bustling streets, and horse-drawn carriages. Colorized photos reveal a city alive with commerce, culture, and charm, capturing everyday life and the timeless beauty of the Dutch capital at the turn of the century. The iconic clock of New York's original Penn Station presided over marble halls filled with travelers. Opened in 1910, the station was a grand Beaux-Arts masterpiece. Though demolished in 1963, the clock remains a symbol of the lost elegance and monumental scale of one of America's greatest architectural tragedies. The Beaux Museum in Barnard Castle, County Durham, stands as a grand 19th-century palace of art. Inspired by French chateaux, its ornate facade and elegant galleries house masterpieces from across Europe, reflecting the vision of John and Josephine Beaux and the era's passion for culture and refinement. At the 1901 Pan American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, The triumphal bridge spanned a grand entrance to a fairground of wonder. Illuminated by electric lights, it welcomed visitors to 350 acres of innovation, culture, and spectacle. A fleeting city built to celebrate progress at the dawn of the 20th century. Opened in 1877, the old Detroit Library was a grand Victorian-era landmark, with soaring ceilings, towering bookshelves, and ornate detailing for decades. It served as a sanctuary of knowledge and learning. Demolished in 1931, it remains a lost treasure of Detroit's architectural and cultural history. The Mutual Life Building in New York City rose as an emblem of early 20th century corporate ambition. Its stately facade, elegant detailing, and commanding presence reflected the confidence of the city's financial age, marking it as both an architectural landmark and a symbol of New York's growing economic power. Constructed in 1878, the Palais du Trocadéro in Paris was a grand exhibition hall with Moorish-inspired architecture, towering domes, and sweeping terraces overlooking the Seine. A centerpiece of international fairs and cultural events, it dazzled visitors until its demolition in 1935, leaving only memories of its ornate grandeur. Circa 1926, the USS Los Angeles soared over downtown Detroit, a symbol of aviation's new era. Against the city's skyline of rising skyscrapers, the massive airship captured the imagination of millions, embodying both technological ambition and the thrill of a world reaching for the skies. Completed in 1886, the Palace of Justice in Brussels towers as a monumental symbol of law and authority. Its vast stone facades, grand staircases, and ornate halls reflect 19th century ambition and craftsmanship. Still in use today, it remains one of the world's largest and most impressive courthouses. Construction of Detroit's Book Tower began in 1916 and was completed a decade later, adding a soaring Italian Renaissance-style centerpiece to the original book building designed in academic classicism. Its 38 floors, 2 basements, and mechanical levels combined elegance with function, making it a landmark of early 20th century urban ambition. The Federal Coffee Palace in Melbourne was a grand Victorian-era hotel and café, famed for its ornate facade, lavish interiors, and sweeping staircases. Built in the late 19th century, it embodied the elegance and ambition of Melbourne's boom years, serving as a social and cultural hub for the city's elite. Completed in 1895, the Ursuline Academy in Galveston, Texas, was a striking center of education and faith. Its elegant campus, chapel, and convent reflected Victorian architectural charm. Though raised between 1961 and 1971, the Academy's legacy endures as a testament to the city's cultural and educational history. Built in 1851 to host the Great Exhibition, London's Crystal Palace was a marvel of cast iron and plate glass. Its vast, light-filled halls showcased the wonders of the industrial age, inspiring awe worldwide. Though destroyed by fire in 1936, its legacy as a symbol of innovation and Victorian ambition endures. Opened in 1904 and designed by Hines and Lafarge, New York City's City Hall subway station was a masterpiece of underground architecture. With graceful arches, ornate tiles, and skylights, it welcomed passengers in style. Closed after World War II, the abandoned station remains a haunting glimpse of the city's early transit elegance. Built in 1883 at 1 West 57th Street, the Cornelius Vanderbilt II House was a sprawling Gilded Age mansion in Manhattan. Lavishly decorated with ornate interiors and grand facades, it epitomized the wealth and excess of one of America's most powerful families. Demolished in the 1920s, it remains a symbol of an era of opulence now lost to time. Completed in 1914, New York's City Hall of Records, now the Surrogate's Courthouse, is a stunning Beaux-Arts landmark. Its grand facade, ornate sculptures, and majestic interiors reflect early 20th century elegance, standing as a testament to the city's commitment to civic beauty and architectural grandeur. Bloom High School in Chicago, Illinois, is a historic educational landmark known for its classic early 20th century architecture. Its brick facades, large windows, and traditional design reflect an era when schools were built not just for learning, but to inspire civic pride and community identity. The Salt Lake City and County Building, often called the City-County Building, stands as a grand symbol of civic pride in Utah's capital. Completed in 1894, its Romanesque Revival architecture features turrets, arches, and intricate stonework, reflecting the ambition and spirit of a growing city at the turn of the century. Before the reflecting pool was built, the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. already stood as a solemn tribute to the 16th president. Its Doric columns and towering statue of Lincoln embodied strength and unity, overlooking the National Mall as a timeless symbol of democracy and American ideals. The Singer Building, or Singer Tower, was an early Manhattan skyscraper completed in 1908. At the time, it was the tallest building in the world, a slender marvel of steel and Beaux-Arts design. Though demolished in 1968, it remains an iconic symbol of New York's pioneering era of vertical architecture. In the early 20th century, downtown Cincinnati buzzed with streetcars, horse-drawn carriages, and grand brick and stone buildings lining its streets. Comparing it to today reveals a city transformed. Modern skyscrapers, bustling traffic, and contemporary architecture now dominate, yet echoes of its historic charm remain in preserved landmarks. Broad Street Station in Philadelphia was a grand transportation hub, opened in 1881 and expanded over the years. Its soaring train sheds and ornate facades made it a centerpiece of the city's rail network, blending functionality with architectural elegance. Though later replaced, it remains a symbol of Philadelphia's industrial and civic ambition. Built for the 1900 Exposition Universelle, Paris's Petit Palais now houses the City of Paris Museum of Fine Arts. Located across from the Grand Palais, its elegant Beaux-Arts facade, sweeping arches, and ornate details reflect the grandeur of the turn-of-the-century exposition, blending art, architecture, and history in the heart of the city. Circa 1929, architect Wilbur Henry Adams envisioned a striking skyscraper office building. Though never realized, his drawing captures the ambition and optimism of the late 1920s, with soaring lines and elegant detailing reflecting a city reaching ever higher toward the sky. Completed in 1911, the William A. Clark House in Manhattan was a Gilded Age masterpiece costing $7 million, over $200 million today. Clark sourced stone from his own New Hampshire quarry, built a railroad to transport it, and employed 200 men in a bronze foundry for fittings. The mansion epitomized opulence, ambition, and the extraordinary lengths taken to create one of New York's most extravagant homes.